let's say if you were auditioning someone for this particular play, what would you be looking for?
It can be scary to have like someone go, well, go on and let's see what you're made
you got. When you're coming from rush and you need to jump on and be on set and be in character.
Too many cooks end up spoiling the ugali, you know.
Okay,
had to say that for
that's a traditional Kenyan dish. Hello everyone, welcome to Be Seen Director's Cut.
The immersive podcast that takes you behind the scenes to get an in-depth look at how directors bring stories to life.
The danger, the possible danger, and I think that can be elevated through the pace at which you say certain things. So you might be able to take your time a little bit more.
We get two professional actors to perform their version of a pre-selected scene.
I'm looking at a thin, ungrateful rat. And a rat!
You're making this a lot easier. Then we show you how their performance evolves with feedback. Throughout the show, we break down the scene, get insider tips, and learn how to navigate the industry.
But it's so inspiring to have another look at it, somebody else showing you things that I think I might have written subconsciously that you picked out.
With my guest, Kalungi Ssebandeke, winner of the 2023 JMK Directing Award, Ekan Associate Director at Pt1, and founder of directyourfirstplay.com, an online directing course for aspiring and emerging directors.
This podcast has been brought to you by Lambda,
The oldest drama school in the UK and ranked by The Guardian as the #1 university in the UK for drama and dance in the 2025 league table.
Now let's get started. Welcome back into the studio. We are joined with
Kalungi Ssebandeke. Yeah.
Kalungi Ssebandeke and my scene partner, Kay
Bridgeman.
Kay Bridgeman. Thank you both so much for coming in and doing this crazy project with me.
Thank you for reaching out and also for like facilitating this whole process and project. It's amazing. I'm like singing your praises.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. So I'm going to start with like just Kalungi, if you can just tell us a little bit about you, where your journey started, because from what I saw, you started off as an actor.
Yes.
From our rival.
Oh, yeah. We can't even, can we not say the rival?
Okay, we're not
you
rivals.
Beep it out. Guildhall, just beep it out.
Okay, Guildhall, yeah. But we're repping Lambda today.
Yeah. Today I'm drinking from Lambda's cup.
Yeah, you're drinking from Lambda's cup. So, where did your journey start? And, take us through how you got into directing and then we can just go from there.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, started off as an actor, still do acting. And my acting journey is a lot longer than my, I guess, writing and directing journey. But it feels like for me, I've always been kind of working towards being a director. So started acting when I was 17, worked with like a juggernaut of like talented actors and directors as well. And I would always like watch what they were doing and just, I guess, absorbing that. So when friends would ask me to help them with self-tapes, they would say things like, hey, actually, you could be a decent director.
Okay.
And then obviously the pandemic forced a lot of us to pick up new skills. I, for some reason, picked up the skill of directing, in particular, theatre and, screen directing as well. And it was from then, the skill of directing kind of just felt natural because I've been surrounded by so many actors and I've also, worked as a writer. So coming and meeting material, like whether it's plays or film or TV, just felt natural a lot more than, when I say picked up writing, it just felt like I was having to teach myself and it's a longer journey. So recently I won a directing award, the JMK Directing Award.
Oh, nice. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. So I won that in 2023 and I got to direct my first play, which was Meetings by Mustafa Matura, starring Martina Laird, Beth and Mary James and Kevin N. Golding. And that was at the Orange Tree. So that's kind of like bolstered my confidence, but also it's put me in front of a lot of like talented actors and writers, and it also led to me getting my job as currently I'm the Khan Associate Director at Theatre 503.
Nice.
So yeah, it's just the directing journey's been really, I guess, on an upward trajectory.
Yeah, very quickly as well.
Very quickly, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the recording by Kay Bridgeman, and we've got Kay Bridgeman who's playing Ava, and we've got Marion Githegi playing Marsha. I'm Kalungi Ssebandeke, and I'll be the director. So in this scene, the recording, we've got stepsisters, Ava and Marsha, and they have a pretty, I guess, tumultuous kind of relationship in that, to begin with, Marsha was looked after Ava growing up, but now the relationship has been reversed, and Marsha wants to live her own life, but Ava feels as if she's old and entitled to be protected and looked after by Marsha forever. So what we do, we just go for a first, almost like dry see, just follow your instincts. What I want to kind of encourage is just to aim for listening, really, really engage for listening, so that we can keep that consistent. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. And then we can ask some questions and what about some other stuff later on.
All right, so it's
All right. So we'll start with Marsha comes in, she's on the phone talking to a mysterious person. And is it okay for you, Kay, if you start off almost like you're obstructed, hidden somewhere, and then I think there's a cue where she says bye on the phone. By that time, you roll in and you kind of jump, scared her, be like a mini little jump scare.
okay.
Okay?
Hold on, babes. Ava? Okay, she's in bed. Go on. I'm meeting Jude maybe Friday? Okay, look, I gotta go. I don't want to wake her. I'll speak to you in the week. Okay, but. Oh my gosh, you made me jump. What are you doing sitting in the dark? Avon?
Where were you?
Sorry, I couldn't get away.
You want to try?
You need me every day. Except you don't.
It's Jude.
Look, I'm tired. I'm going to bed.
Fuzzy or shake?
Let's talk tomorrow.
Answer me.
Jude is your new carer.
What? No. I don't want anyone else. Why can't you still do it?
Look, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I want to live my life. I don't want to be trapped here with you. Look, if you want to sit here drinking, not cooking, nor cleaning, fine, yeah? But you're not dragging me down with you.
It's like I'm looking at a thin, ungrateful rat, and you just wanna.
Rat. Thanks for making this a lot easier. Jude is definitely coming tomorrow, and you better get used to it.
We'll see.
This is the first time actually that I've had the writer of a scene, not just in the scene, but on the sofa. So how was the meeting of the two? Because you're also a writer, actor, director, but you're a writer, actor. And so when you were both kind of talking about the scene and your understanding of it, like what fascinates me is how sometimes in the real world, the actors never get to talk to the writers. And sometimes you don't get to direct the writer.
Yeah.
So how was that initial interaction? Maybe Kay, you want to go first, and then Kalungi, you can jump in.
Very, very inspiring. It's I always love when I write something, getting the actors on the feet and working through it, but I'm always kind of telling them my version. But it's so inspiring to have another look at it, somebody else showing you things that I think I might have written subconsciously that you picked out. So we had a discussion before, and it was really inspiring. Actually, it's humbling when you see your work, because I don't think when you write it's just your baby. You have to give it out to everybody else. And I think there were some things that I hadn't thought about as that character, and some maybe things that I've thought subconsciously that you'd brought out. Really beautiful, really, really lovely working with someone that can understand your vision.
I feel the same way when we were talking in the dressing room, just like the questions that I was asking, and Kay was very kind of graciously and humbly kind of going, actually, I want to hear your interpretation of that. And that's, for me, writer-director relationship, that's almost like the ideal relationship, where the writer, yes, they understand that this is their material, but there's other interpreters. There's, the creative, the lighting, the sound person's going to interpret it. And then the director almost shepherds these visions and makes it coherent and makes it a singular vision. So it's beautiful and kind of refreshing to work with Kay and hear that actually she's open to that. It's rare. It's rare, really, to kind of direct the writer, but also to have an open writer who's like, actually, you know what? Let me hear what you think on this one.
Yeah, definitely.
Because otherwise, they might as well direct it themselves.
It's true. Yeah. It's so true. And so I guess because this podcast is like to help actors, right, to be able to navigate the industry. And Kay, feel free to ask any questions that you may have this far, because you're a lot further in your journey compared to me anyway. In terms of like helping actors to navigate this industry, because it's crazy.
Easy, yo. It's not easy.
It's a different beast. But what would you say, what do you look for when you're auditioning, like someone for your play or anything like that? What are some things that, let's say if you were auditioning someone for this particular play, what would you be looking for when they're either it's self-taping and or in the room? And what are some things that you can advise us on in terms of, delivering good self-tapes? Because you had to self-tape as well, didn't you?
Yeah, and you know what? Like, I say this as, with the knowledge of having been an actor. And, I'm not saying that, I've cracked the acting code. I still audition. In fact, I'm running to an audition straight after this. So it's like, it's not easy. Being an actor is so difficult because, of course, when you're doing really well, people see that you're at the front. They know your name. You're the, Angela Bassett or Lupita Nyong'o. But like, there's also those of us that are having, grafting and working and got talent. But I say that as a kind of almost a mini disclaimer to say that I understand that as a director. So when I'm kind of like auditioning actors for plays, I have that understanding that you're coming in, this is scary. It can be scary to have like someone go, well, go on and let's see what you made of.
Got. Yeah.
And I try not to have that vibe because I've auditioned people that I know, like friends or people I've worked with, and it can be awkward. And, I've been auditioned by people that I know, and I always go, damn, if I know this director, I bet I'm not going to get the part, because sometimes it's hard to audition in front of your friends or people that you know.
Does it come with a certain...
It depends how... Sometimes it can, I think maybe the younger kind of director friends can find it harder to separate the friendship or the prior knowledge. But the older directors that I do know, and I don't have that worry. It's more like kind of my younger peers where I go, I don't think I'm going to get this, because they're going to find it hard either to accept that I could be seen in this role or for them to direct me, because maybe we might have a different relationship or rapport.
So how did you get in the room in the first place then?
Sometimes it can be the casting director.
Oh,
the casting director can sometimes go, actually, I think they're right. And then the person can go, yeah, actually bring them in. Let's see what they're made of. So it can be, you can sometimes be judged a lot harsher by your peers sometimes, because they have prior knowledge of you.
Yeah.
But So I try to make it easy even for people that I do know and go like, I'm not judging you. I'm just trying to see, you know, I know you're talented. I just want to see the compatibility of this role. For all I know, that's probably what my other friends are thinking. So advice I would say is like, just go in there with the knowledge that you've done enough preparation. And also for me as a director, I just look for warmth. And what I mean by that, it's not like you come in and you got a cardigan and you're warm or whatever, but just like you're going to be great to work with. You're going to be open. You're not going to bring kind of like unnecessary, almost oppositional kind of vibe. You let the script and the storytelling be key, and you can always tell from the way someone comes into the rehearsal room, how they greet people, how they respond to your greeting, and when you ask them questions like, oh, how, you know, what do you think of the story? Someone hits you with the, yeah, I didn't really read it. Or
Oh my gosh,
fully.
people say that?
Yeah, or I don't, you know, or you hear them waffling, you go, yeah, that's not gonna work. Or you give them a note and they go, okay, if that's all right, like that's what you're into. They're almost like they're going, okay, that's one way of. One actor said, yeah, that's one way of looking at it. So that tells you that that person's not going to be great to work with on this project.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and preparation as well. Like if you, not to say you know the script at the back of your hand, but you're willing to kind of be directed and go, okay, let me try that out. And the talent is already there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think first take, love it. I want to suggest just maybe aesthetically, you can just think your wheelchair, you just need to make sure you're a bit further in frame just so that we can capture you.
Okay.
And then the other thing is, I think there's definitely, I love the danger, the possible danger, and I think that can be elevated through the pace at which you say certain things. So you might be able to take your time a little bit more, especially if you feel like you're in a more justified place.
Yeah.
Okay? So I think we can have a little bit of air in between certain things.
Okay.
And also, how long have you been waiting?
About 4 hours, I say. 6 there, 7, and I say.
Okay.
Yes.
So almost like the whole day you've been waiting for her. So usually what time does she come back? What time?
I usually so I would say right now it's probably about 11 o'clock at night. So I'm usually home by 8.
And where have you been?
I've been out working things out with Jude, trying to figure out how I'm gonna, and also I don't want to face her.
Yeah.
And so when I come back home, I'm coming home at a time that I know she's probably going to be asleep, because I don't want to have that conversation. Exactly. I want it to be a surprise tomorrow.
Can I also add that it feels like you've also been seeing someone, you've been kind of because in the end of the conversation it says I'll see you
Speak in the week.
Yeah, speak in a week.
Yeah.
And they've been kind of do you have a boyfriend or you're seeing someone?
Yeah, I'm seeing someone here.
Okay. So the suspicion is that Jude is someone that she's dating, possibly.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a moment where you say, who is he? And you put ... Could we let that breathe a little bit where it's like, who is he? Oh, my sister could also maybe have an alternative lifestyle.
Yeah.
She. So just, you can separate those little bits. It's not a judgmental way. It's just, it can just be like well, let me not jump to the conclusion that it's a he. So that's the main one. I'm going to look to see on your position as well to make sure we have you fully in frame. But also, one final one, I think you can have a little bit more moments of bite to yourself, to you.
Okay.
She says certain things to you. I think because this is almost like the end of this imprisonment.
Okay.
Have a little bit of bite to you rather.
In any particular lines or?
I think there's one. Rat is a good one. Rat is a good one to have.
Okay.
And we'll see. There might be. I'll look up for another one, but I think Rat was the main one that I thought.
Okay.
He's taking it too far.
Cool. Hold on a sec, babe. Ava? Okay. No, she's in bed. Go on.
Oh, can't. I'm meeting Jude maybe Friday. Okay, cool. Look, I gotta go. I don't want to wake her. Speak in the week, yeah? Okay, bye. Bye. Oh, gosh. You made me jump. What were you doing sitting in the dark? Ava? Where were you? Oh, sorry, I couldn't go away.
I needed you today.
You need me every day. Except you don't.
Who's Jude?
Look, I'm tired. I'm going to be... Let's talk tomorrow.
Answer me.
Jude is your new carer.
What? No, I don't want anyone else. Why can't you still do it?
I don't want to. I want to live my life and not be trapped here with you.
Trapped?
Look, if you want to sit here drinking and, not cooking or cleaning, fine. But you're not dragging me down with you.
It's like I'm looking at a thin, ungrateful rat. And
Rat? You're making this a lot easier. Jude is definitely coming tomorrow, so you better get used to it.
we'll see. I think it's always about serving the story. And it's always nice to have a different perspective. And I think some of the things that he'd asked you to do then did, because it's always the same when you get there, that's you do something and I think, oh God, actually that has affected my character in a particular way. Mm-hmm. And I think the direction really helped tease things out that maybe there was a spark of that you saw, that you elaborated on, or you had it already in your mind, I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, I was speaking to Lisa Sperling, who runs Theatre 503. So we were talking about the difference sometimes when you're working with, say, professional productions versus drama school, right? And I mentioned, or we were talking about, sometimes you feel like you have to over-prepare when you're doing a professional production because actors are going to ask you so many questions. You want to make sure you got all the answers. But actually sometimes being spontaneous and being in the moment. So of course I knew the scene and I knew the relationships, but also I wanted to kind of be led by what you lot were doing. So I wanted to wait until you lot met and were reading it, and beyond reading it and performing it, then I was inspired. And any note I gave was ignited by what you lot had done.
Had delivered.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Exactly, because I'd seen it.
Yeah.
So, and you were also receptive to that, and the listening was so kind of apparent and incrementally also palpable that I was like, I could watch this. We could do more of this, actually.
Right. Yeah. Because at the beginning, obviously, let's be real, I'm doing all this, right? And in my head, I'm just like, okay, how do I get... I think that's the question I have. When you're coming from rush and you need to jump on and be on set and be in character, because I felt stiff at the beginning. I know it has nothing to do with anything. I think I was just not settled in yet.
Yeah. But to add to that as well, it just made me think that one of the director's roles isn't just to tell people what to do, but also is to create an environment where you don't feel like that, where you start to feel settled. So there was so many things going on, and if the director becomes frazzled and goes, oh my God, then you all feel that. So my aim usually is to try to kind of create an air of okay, that's why I said let's actually have a singular directorial vision. Do you know what I mean? Because I know everybody wants to jump on their Spike Lee, because it's do you know what I mean? But there can only be one Spike Lee. There can only be one Kalungi Ssebandeke. So otherwise, too many cooks end up spoiling the ugali. You know,
Okay,
hence,
yeah,
the Kenyans had to say that for
that's a traditional Kenyan dish.
the kawunga, like we
Yeah,
say
yeah,
in
yeah.
Uganda, right? So almost like you're going, okay, everybody, yes, we get it. There's so many things going on, but actually, let's breathe. And even just being told to breathe can just change because you can forget. So, okay, I get it. We all have different ideas, but let's just have one singular directorial vision. Let's also breathe and focus. And before we start a scene, settle.
Yeah.
And then you come in.
Yeah.
And I could see you're doing so much, like, but other people are also, yourself as an actress, you're thinking, my knife and the drink, and so I go, okay, all right, let's all kind of distill that into one and harness that energy and don't have it kind of dissipated in different places. Yeah.
Lovely taking on of the note around giving it air to breathe. I think that's beautiful. Definitely the bite on the rat was good. So the bite, the kind of heat on the rat was amazing.
Yeah.
I want to kind of encourage to push it a little bit more because this is the final straw.
Okay.
A, she's called you a rat.
Yeah.
B, you want to live your life.
Yeah.
And C, you just can't take any more. That's
Right.
it. Question: has there been times when you've tried to kind of leave in the past?
Okay, that's a good question. I'll make the decision now and say yes, there have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you failed. Maybe she says something or she puts on, does something
Fail.
happens. Yeah, that makes you go, let me stay. But this is it. This is the final one. So therefore, you can say whatever you want. And you can be your full kind of uncensored self.
Okay.
You can give her. It can also sit more in your body, like you know. Sometimes when we're heated,
Yeah.
have like a physical abandon. So I think there can be a little hint of that as well.
Okay.
Kind of ignite you even more.
This is the first time she's
Stood up.
right.
Yeah, someone has stood up to her.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think her.
It's the first time she's ever.
It's the first time someone stood up to her. So that's, and then also another heat and bite you can give her is if you want to sit here drinking, because again that's a big bone of contention between you guys.
Yeah.
Not clean, not do anything.
Okay.
That can be another thing it's almost like similar to the final straw as well.
Okay.
So that can really be fiery on.
Okay.
And then I think Ava rather, what's been going through her mind all day that her sister's been away?
She's changed slightly. I noticed that she's not back. In my mind, I always thought she'd be back maybe 6 or 7. Maybe in my mind it's got later and later, and I'm like, I feel abandoned. I feel
yes. So you feel more and more helpless.
yeah.
As far as you're concerned, you can't do anything for yourself except open some wine.
Yeah.
There's nothing without her there. You can't. Your whole day's messed up. There's certain things you wanted to do that you can't do. There's certain. Maybe you wanted to be cleaned or whatever, and she can't do that for you because she's not here. So there can be a sense of kind of resentment and anger underneath that as well.
So does she know she can walk?
I think we should make it that she can, and she's chosen mentally. She has her illness kind of manifests itself mentally, and she's convinced herself that she's ill, and it feels as if Marsha's finally caught onto that.
Okay.
Hence why you got the line. Except you don't. You say
Right.
you say you
Right.
except you don't.
Okay.
And you can mark that a little bit actually.
Okay.
It could be a little look down at her.
Yeah.
And there can be a lot of air for that. So I just want to encourage that we have that resentment, but also it can be a more suppressed. I think there's a line where you say, "No, why can't you do it?" I think right now we've had 2 versions where she's almost like a petulant child.
Yes.
But can you give us a little bit more like you drop the mask in?
All right.
Let's see what happens if you drop the mask. Just
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
it'd be really like authentically like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And then at the end, really do go after us so that we have that sense of danger. So don't stop. So you can go out and then you can fully go after, and then we can cut where.
So even when her back's there, even when she's still on set, I'm up.
Yeah. If I'm you, so she's left, and then you've gone with the knife. I think a little pause and then walk out as if you're going after her.
Okay.
And speaking of walking, one last note, and I promise. You say you're not gonna drag me down with you. Really do make to leave, and it'll be your job to stop her.
Yeah.
So really
Okay.
do go done with you. Bounce. You come in. It's like looking at a. Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about the line where it's like I'm looking at a rat.
Yeah, I always feel eggy on that line, so I just come straight in.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm waiting for you to go, and you're waiting for me to speak.
No, I'm going, but if the last time I left,
Right.
I left. So stop me.
So forget that silence. So you're dragging me down. Forget silence. She gets a look in her face. Forget that note.
Yeah, I think get that earlier.
All right.
The strange look when
Perfect.
she's judging you for cooking and cleaning and drinking.
So
you
cool.
can get that, and then dragging me down with you is the final straw where you can go, look at this rat.
Okay.
So that can be a lot.
And then forget that ...
Yeah.
All right.
No, I think it's still play.
It's like.
I think that it's like can be the arrest.
All right.
That arrests her and makes her stay.
Yeah. Perfect. So I just know that you'll get that look.
Yes.
In earlier.
Exactly.
Perfect. So I don't have to wait for the silence.
All right. This I'll be behind for your close up just to have a look.
Oh yeah. Okay.
All right. Cool.
I want to say a massive thank you for everyone that's tuned in to watch this podcast. This podcast is all about empowering you, the actor, upcoming director, creative, or film fan. Everyone's welcome. If you'd like to see a particular guest director on the show, please let us know in the comment section below or send us an email. And if you'd like to be a guest actor on the show, please also let us know.